Hello and welcome to
Small talk about the big issue.
I'm Lorraine.
And I'm Kiara. So I guess we can start by introducing ourselves beyond our names.
I think we should.
Lorraine, who are you? What do you do? And what leads you to be here?
I am a student. I am currently doing a master's in molecular plant and microbial sciences.
Wow.
Which is quite a mouthful. But essentially what I'm maybe most interested in is photosynthesis, because believe it or not, we're not quite sure how it works. Mm-hmm. And they're microorganisms that have really interesting photosynthetic quirks, I guess you can call them.
Yeah.
And they have so many applications for capturing carbon, enhancing food security, and I really want to, I think in my career, try and understand them, how they work, and how we can use them.
Yeah, I always love hearing you talk about that because you get so passionate about it.
Yeah, I think it's so incredible. And before I started this master's, I thought for sure we knew how photosynthesis worked. Like this is the reaction that's like keeping us all alive. But no, we don't. So it's really interesting. But yes, tell us about you, Kiara. What are you studying? What are you interested in?
Well, I'm Kiara. I'm doing a master's degree at Lund University in Sweden. I'm studying animal ecology, so not plants.
It's okay.
But to be honest, I've always had very broad interests. I did my bachelor in interdisciplinary science, and even though now I'm narrowly focused on animals and how they interact in different populations, I still have that urge to dip in different scientific fields and create links between disciplines, because that's what I'm really passionate about. I still like physics, I still like chemistry, and I don't want to say goodbye to them. And I think it's really important to have people in science who can connect different fields together, because everyone's so specialized. I think you need some generalists as well.
Mm-hmm. And I think the general trend in academia is going towards like favoring interdisciplinarity and people who can kind of cross disciplines.
Mm-hmm. So you're in London, Lorraine. I'm in Lund.
Yes.
Yeah, how could this happen? How do we know each other? Why are we even in this podcast together?
Yes, I think, so funnily enough, we met in school in kind of a learning environment. We were 16, we were in high school.
Yeah.
So we've gone through a couple degrees, but we've stayed really good friends, kind of long distance for part of it.
And funnily enough, we chose similar career paths.
Yes.
I mean, we're both kind of studying biology, which is also the reason why we're here, talking about our big issue.
Yes. What is the big issue, Kiara, that we're both interested in?
I think we need to address this. Yeah, our big issue, or the one we want to highlight through this podcast, is climate change. Because we believe it's a very important issue to deal with right now, and everyone should be concerned or deserves to have information about it in order to feel concerned. To let climate change discussion take a bigger place in our society, or even in our day-to-day mundane conversations.
Yeah, I think, you say everyone should be concerned by climate change. I would add that everyone is currently impacted by climate change. And for me, it's really important to speak of climate change in the present tense. This is not like a problem we can procrastinate. Absolutely. This is something we should, devote, as, both of us are scientists, but also as individuals, I think we should all try to understand what's going on. And arguably, like, even scientists who are, working at the pinnacle of their fields don't fully know. But, there is so much information out there, and there's so much that we can act on. And I think, knowledge is power, and understanding the problem is the first step towards being able to act on it. Yeah.
And most of the information that's available right now is not really accessible. I mean, there's tons of articles being published every month, every year on climate change, but who exactly reads scientific articles on Sunday morning with their breakfast? I'm not sure I know anyone, to be honest. So yeah, they're a mouthful of really complicated scientific articles that no one should have to read, honestly, unless that's your passion. And we've had quite
your
some
job.
yes, some academic training, and I mean we've been confronted with them quite a lot. So we know how to look for information, and we know how to critically analyze these studies, these articles, and that's why we thought we could kind of use this tool that we have to spread some knowledge that too often stays hidden.
I think that is like one of the major aims of this podcast is to
Absolutely.
make science and things that are at the forefront of science available to you and accessible and hopefully easily understandable.
I would also say that, our podcast is called Small Talk about the Big Issue, but not in the sense that it is trivial and it's not going to be serious. It's just going to be a silly little small talk between friends. Absolutely not. We just have the idea that climate change conversations should be more casual, that it shouldn't be a taboo subject. And we really want to encourage people to think about climate change as something that is in our lives and that we have to confront ourselves with. But it doesn't have to be too serious. It can just be like ideas thrown around in the air, just making peace with the fact that it is in our lives and we have to think about it and deal with it.
I think too often discussing climate change is synonymous with these kind of alarmist discourse.
Yeah.
Yes, the science is saying this is a, serious, dangerous potentially situation, but I think the scale of the problem should not prevent us from trying to act on it. And, yes, putting pressure on big corporations and governments to enforce policy that is going to protect the environment, the earth, ourselves, every living being is important.
It's super important.
But the agency of individuals is also, I think, something we both believe in.
Yeah. We all have something to do, something we can help with, and it starts with small talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't want this podcast to be guilt-inducing. I mean, there is urgency to the climate change crisis, but we don't want to alarm you and make you feel bad. Yeah, we don't think that we're doomed, and we just want a productive conversation around the subject, which hopefully will inspire some of you to come up with ideas on what we can do to make this planet more livable in the future.
And also spark curiosity for science and like the living world. I think it's so yeah.
I mean,
exciting.
we're both scientists, so obviously we do like science. So we're hoping to spread some of that passion.
Yeah, we have to confess that some of this podcast is going to be slightly nerdy. Slightly, yeah.
I would say very factual and scientific, but it was still casual. Like we're just two friends having a small talk about the big issue.
Yes, we're learning as well, I think, through this project.
Absolutely.
But yeah, what we're hoping to do for the first few episodes, like the first 3 episodes, is to define climate change, just to make sure we're all on the same page and understand the kind of basic components and what they mean. And so Kiara has really well named the first episode, which will be...
It's getting hot in here, isn't it? It's going to be all about the science behind global warming and, explaining why this is, not really why this is happening, but how it could happen. The physics behind the warming and how scientists actually determine that it has been warming. All these techniques and tools
so stay tuned.
Are really exciting. So stay tuned. We're really excited to meet you here again as soon as the first episode is out.